Lord, I just need clear instructions that Mfundo is the one. I just need to know that I'm making the right choice, Lord, that Mfundo is the one, Lord. I just need to know, Lord. Is Mfundo? Lord, is that you?
Fear not, my child. It is I. On the 22nd of July, if Mfundo drives past you and he hoots and he says hello, then he is the one.
Thank you, Lord. This is exactly what I needed. Clear and precise instructions. Let's hope it drives past me. Lord, even as I read my Bible, Lord, thank you that you speak through your word. And right now, Lord, the name that I will open to, even as I read the Bible, that is the man I'm going to marry. I'm going to marry Matthew. Lord, I know that Mfundo is a great guy. I mean, he serves at church, he serves you wholeheartedly, he serves your people. He's everything I've ever wanted in a guy, everything I've ever prayed for. But I can't marry him. I mean, have you seen his toes? I can't marry a guy with toes like that. What about our children? No. Lord, send someone else. Surely there's someone else. Lord, I mean, I know that Mfundo cheats. I mean, he's dating like multiple girls. I know that he's kind of like on drugs. But like, he's trying, you know, he comes to church and like people just need to give him a chance. I feel like you need to give him a chance, Lord. And like he's already told our pastor and he's already told my parents. I can't say no. Obviously, I can't say no. I can change him. I know this. I can change him, Lord. I know that he's the one. I'm the one that's made to save him. So, I can't say no.
Hello guys.
Hey guys.
What up?
We don't say what up. But hey guys. Welcome back to our channel. It's been a lot, eh? We've had a lot going on recently in our lives. Hence, we haven't uploaded faithfully our, what is the series called? The Truth Behind Godly Relationships. Yes, a lot of you guys have actually been asking us like, oh, when you guys gonna release another video? But yeah, you know, life has been busy. But yeah.
Yeah, but we're back now.
We're back. We're back.
And hopefully we can wrap this up, hey?
We're only an episode.
Yeah, so I think there's like 2 more after this one.
There might be just one.
Just one?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
But anyway.
Which one?
The struggles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The next one. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But anyway, as you've seen on the title of this video, how do you know who's the one? Is that the title?
Yes. How do you know someone is the one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll be speaking like from our different perspectives. The one thing I love about us is that we agree on certain things, but we also don't agree on certain things. And we find that normal, we move on with our lives. It's like, oh, okay, whatever. So yeah, so I'll be speaking as a girl, as a female, my perspective, and Naye,
I'll be speaking on behalf of the male species.
Yeah, Naye. Yeah, so let's get right into it. So guys, in terms of the one, firstly, we just want to say this is our opinions.
Yes.
It is not. It's not.
Please don't go and choose your spouse
based on what we say. It is not the gospel. It is not cast in stone. This is just our opinions. It's what we as Mbali and Mfundo believe in. Some people
not believe in, think. It's our opinion.
Yes, that's our opinion. Some people might think differently, but yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah. So personally, I want to ask Mfundo, do you believe in the concept of the one?
The one.
Choose your words very wisely.
No, it's not that I don't believe in the one specifically, but I sort of don't believe Uguti there's just the one. Okay, let me explain. Let me explain myself.
Please.
Okay.
Our marriage is on the line.
So I don't necessarily believe that there's like one person that you know, this is the only person that is the right person for you, and if you don't marry this person, like it's over. Like Jay, you've missed your calling, yabo, and all of that. And the reason why, well, this is my reasoning, is that let's just say Mbali has the one work, okay, let's just say you are the one, okay? And then you go off and you go and marry some other guy before I could even meet you and marry you. Yabo. So now that means that someone else has taken the one, and then
you're gonna take,
and then I'm gonna take someone else's the one, and then the one is gonna take someone else's the one, and then a generation later, no one is with the one because someone messed it up, and then it's like a ripple effect. So like I think I view it as there's a particular person who can help you reach your purpose and your destiny, and then there's a particular person that can take you away from that purpose and the destiny. You might label that person as the one. I simply look at it as, you know, the right person for you. That's just my opinion.
So what about you?
You are the one.
This guys. Anxious. Like, okay. But yeah, what do I believe in?
Yeah, what do you think?
I'm conflicted, if I'm honest. I'm conflicted because I genuinely do believe that Unkulunkulu, he has numbered our steps and he knows our beginning from the end, and you know, I am very conflicted in that. But I also do see your theory whereby I think of it as God forbid when we married and you die. You see, and if you die, I'm currently 25 years old, and if Mfundo dies when I'm 26, I mean, there's a high chance
of what?
That I might remarry. So now, does that mean?
Wait.
What? You expect me to stay single?
Yes.
No.
For like 5 years or 10 years.
Babe,
No, babe, I think you should stay single for like just mourn me for like 10 years. And then move on.
But yeah, so my reasoning is, so what happens to people like that? Because you do get young couples that unfortunately lose their spouses at a very young age and they decide to remarry. Does that mean then that person, so do some people have more than the ones? You know what I'm saying? Or so for me, I'm conflicted, but then at the same time, you also, I think with our relationship, you meet someone that's so imperfectly perfect that it's like they were created just specifically for you. So then I'm like, oh, maybe there is the one. But yeah, so that's just my opinion. I'm caught in between. A part of me is like, there is the one because God really does ordain our steps and all of that. But then a part of me is also like, but then what if Mfundo's not the one? Then I'm taking someone else's person, and it's like a ripple effect, as you had said.
So as I had said, like I truly believe that God sort of like guides us and he helps us towards picking the right person for you, who will help you fulfill your destiny and fulfill your purpose. And then on the other hand, there's the person who's gonna take you away. So are you taking me away?
Have you seen how better you've become as a person after me?
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, guys. So anyway, I think one of the struggles with being female, ne, ukuthi, as females, we don't approach, we get approached. And so if Mfundo,
But there's some chicks.
that's a whole nother.
I'm a living testimony of this.
That's a whole
There are
nother
some chicks,
story
hey.
on another video for a whole nother day. Can girls approach guys? Oh, that's a whole nother thing for a whole nother day.
Babe, ngise ngashelo.
Whoever shelled my Mfundo, shame on you. Shame on you.
But anyway, it's another
Yeah,
day.
that's another video for another day.
Okay, so now let's talk about how do I know who's the one?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about dreams and visions versus
Choice. Okay.
All right.
So,
So-
dreams and visions.
Yeah, so some people, as we demonstrated earlier on,
Yes.
they get dreams and visions. Well, they say they get dreams and visions
Yeah.
from the Lord telling them that when you wake up this morning,
Yes.
you're gonna pass a tree. Behind the tree is
There'll
a
be-
green is a green leaf,
Yes.
and that green leaf is gonna blow off the tree and it's gonna land on someone's shoe.
Yes.
And that lady is your wife.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I wouldn't say that dreams and visions don't work.
Yes.
I'm not God, so I wouldn't say that God can't use that, or God can't move in that direction or speak in that direction. But like, how does this relate to free will? Because God has also given us free will. So if I come up to you and say, hey, God said you're the one, what then happens to your free will?
Exactly. So am I now obligated to be with this person based on the fact that they heard from the Lord? And so I mean, personally, as a female, what I have what I've seen is that in terms of the dreams and visions thing, it's usually males that get dreams and visions. I'm assuming because
Always the guys.
yeah, I'm assuming.
Never heard of females
No,
say,
I got a vision.
hey, my guy, you're my man.
I think for me, I'm assuming maybe guys are the ones that get visions because they're the ones that, in general, do the approaching. But personally, as a girl, I think what I've seen is that it can be susceptible to abuse, where uguti, if someone has a crush on me and I don't have a crush on them, they can always say, oh, I had a dream or a vision that you're the one. I'm not saying that you can't, as Mfundo said, have a dream or a vision about someone, but at the same time, I also believe that uNkulunkulu has given us choice. You know what I'm saying? So the one thing is also, I always wonder, why didn't God create us mezalwa to automatically love him? We could have done that.
Yes.
He could have created us where we automatically love him, we automatically choose. Yet he created us in a world where we choose whether we want to be
love
with him
Yeah.
or we don't.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then you don't. He doesn't force you. If you do, then all is well. And so for me, that demonstrated the power of free will, where we are in a world where we get to choose.
If we want to be with him or not.
Exactly.
So the same way with relationships as
Yes.
well. Choosing the person that you're gonna marry,
Yes.
or the person that you love, ultimately boils down to choice. Like I as a guy cannot come to you and say, I've got a dream. Hey, you have to marry me because God said you are my wife.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So for us personally, we are pro-choice. So we are, like, for example, me, when Mfundo approached me and he told me that he liked me, I had the choice to say, my nigga, no, you're out of my league. Oh no, actually, I'm out of your league.
What?
I'm out of your league.
Okay.
But obviously, I liked him back, and so yeah, so I chose him.
Couldn't say no. Yes.
So I chose to be with him. But with that being said, before I made the decision, I did go to God and pray and ask for guidance, because one thing is, you need to see the person for who they really, really are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like with that, like I think God really gives us He gives us His word first of all to guide us when we're making the choice of who we're gonna marry or the right person for us. He gives us a brain. He gives us wise counsel. We've got people who've been down this path before.
Yes.
Well, personally, I had good leaders at church who could guide me and speak into my life. And then again, I could have chosen not to listen to them. I could have chosen to take their advice or just throw it away. So like God has given us so many things to guide us. He gave us the Holy Spirit to guide us as well. So at the end of the day, I don't think we have an excuse to say, I didn't know what to do, or
Yeah, I think also don't put God in a box where He has to come in a dream. Sometimes Unkulunkulu speaks through people.
Oh yes, that's a very good point. Like I hear people say, did you hear God? And like I'm not saying it's not a bad thing to hear God like in a loud audible voice, but God can speak in so many different ways. He can speak like in a voice. He can speak through His word. He can speak through your leader, your person, or your pastor, or whatever it is. So if I had to like literally wait for God to for an angel to come down and speak, I think my life would be at a standstill right now, because I can count with one hand how many times I've heard God speak loudly, in an audible voice.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Don't box God.
Don't box God. Yeah.
Yes. So then, Mfundo, how did you come about the conclusion
that I want you, that you're the one?
That I want you. Yeah.
Well, first of all, I think there's a misconception that if I see you and I think you're the one, then you are the one. Whereas with me and you, I like the first time I sort of thought about you, I didn't automatically say this is the one, because I didn't know you. I genuinely did not know you. So first of all, I had to first get to know you, and that process took about like 1.5 years, where we were
just
friends. We used to sort of like go out on
group
events.
dates.
Yeah, not group dates, but like we had friends. We had mutual friends.
So we were never like alone.
Yeah, so whenever there were like events, that's when I would see Mbali interacting with other people, because whenever like we're alone, it's like you can play your cards like close to your chest.
Yeah.
And when we were in a group environment, I could see it's okay. This is Mbali. This is what she is. This is how she thinks. This is how she treats people. So yeah, for me, it wasn't like, hey, I like you, you're the one. It was
a process.
It was like, yeah, I think I like this girl. Let me see what she's all about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was getting to know you. That was the first part of the process. And then once I got to know you, I think that's when I really just began seeking God's counsel and seeking God's wisdom in terms of the whole situation. Like, what do I do? Is this the right person for me? Will she take me away from your destiny? Is this where you want me to be? That's when I started taking it seriously. But before then, I wasn't pursuing a relationship. I was pursuing a friendship with you. So yeah. And for you?
For me, I think.
Or you were just sitting there and like, when's this guy gonna come?
No. I think for me, with you, as I said, was that during the friendship phase, I gave myself, it wasn't this is it, here's the one. So I allowed myself time to get to know you. And I didn't place pressure on us or on myself to make it work, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So I was like just your friend. for the sake of being your friend and getting to know you. And then with the courting now, which is what we're currently doing, like we're courting. Again, it was before we got to this point. It was okay. I know you as a person, as a friend, and I like what I see. Let me get to know you in like a romantic setting. And am I still good with? Do I still want you? Because for me, the courting phase was deciding whether Gebela, are you the guy I want to be with? Because just because you asked me out doesn't mean, and I said yes, it doesn't mean that automatically we have to get married. So I needed to get to know you as my man. Did I like the way you treated me? Did I like the way So for me, it wasn't an automatic thing as well. So I allowed myself to get to know you without the pressure of saying. So like I know some people, a month into the relationship, they're like, we have to get married. We are, So for me, it wasn't that.
And
it was
you
like
just don't know the person.
Exactly.
You don't. Like I guess you have to ask the hard questions as well. You can't just be like
like some people live on this cloud.
Yeah.
And you make decisions based off the cloud and not reality.
And you could be marrying a murderer.
I'm not a murderer.
The next thing you're on CSI reality. And like,
I got away with this.
My husband killed me.
Exactly. So that's another thing. Uguti, like if ujola nomuntu, if you're dating someone, it doesn't mean that you have to get married. Give yourself time to get to know the person. And if you find that after being with the person maybe for 6 months, even 3 years, that you know what, actually, I don't think this is gonna work, you should, then that's fine. You're not pressurized to be with that person.
Yeah, I think the point that you're trying to drive home here is that us as Christians, when you get into a relationship, when you've told your leaders, when you told the church, when you've told your parents, it's like, okay, now I have to get married to the person because now everyone knows, that I'm in a relationship with this person. And I think that is very dangerous, in my opinion. Yeah, that's very dangerous. Because once you get married and you have doubts about this person, now it's a whole new...
So complicated.
It's a whole new game now. It gets very complicated once you get married. So I think, like, if you have any doubts, I think, like, it should be addressed there and then. And I don't think you should be, like, obligated to marry someone just because
you've told the church
and your parents.
And one last thing for me is the fact that I cannot stress enough how important it is to ask the hard questions. Because you there are things about, you love your person, but your person's not perfect.
Yes.
There are various things there are deal breakers that you might find out later, and you think, if only I'd known this, So as much as you love the person, you cannot function from that cloud forever. You have to ask, like, the hard questions. Like, for example, one of our hard questions is always like finances. So when we're married, how are we going to handle finances? Realistically speaking, with what I'm earning and what you're earning, how can we live? That's not an easy conversation.
And even before we get married, like, how are you handling your
finances? How are you handling your finances right now?
What are your addictions? What are you struggling with? Like, all the hard questions.
So it's not an easy conversation to have, but it's an imperative conversation to have. Because if you leave that for you married, I always say people get divorced over izinto. It starts small.
You could ask experts in marriage now.
Or propose. But guys, so ask the hard questions. You have to have the hard conversation.
Okay, so for those of you who currently not looking for anyone, or just single and looking, or just single and not looking, like what I would say is pray, pray, and pray. I think it's much better to pray for someone before you've met them than to pray for someone once you've seen them. Because once you've seen someone and then you start praying for
guidance.
Yeah, for guidance. It's like you've almost already made up your mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So like once you start praying for someone when you've already seen them, it's like you've already made up your mind, Vele.
You pray.
So like now you're going to God and you're like,
Please
God,
say yes.
I'm telling you, this is the person.
Please say yes. Please say I'm making the right choice.
Yeah. So like I think it's so much better. You have a clear mind when you haven't met the person and you don't know who the person is, and you're genuinely just praying for the desires of your heart. And I think if you bring the desires of your heart before God, he honors he honors that.
Definitely. And pre-decisions are so important. So before you have to decide what is it that you want as a person, so that when you actually meet that person, you already know this is my standard, these are my boundaries. So that when you meet the person, it's not like you're starting from scratch. Also, it is important in your single phase, develop yourself to become the right person.
Yes, because you can't just expect someone to be the right person for you, and then when
you're shady. So develop yourself. Take up a hobby, serve in church. If you have the means to go and study, Mfundo. Guys, it's so much better to study when you're single than to study with a person. Like when Mfundo ngenza my last year.
My timing.
Yeah, your timing was awful. But yeah, guys, if you have the opportunity, go to school, get a job, develop yourself, not just spiritually as well, develop yourself as a person. If there's certain issues that you need to deal with them. If you need to make means to pay off your zako, just develop yourself so that mefika umuntu naye, because that person has expectations of what they want. Now you've got expectations, so be the right person as well. So guys, with that being said, I personally think there is no set formula.
Yes.
With finding the person.
So after all has been said and done, after we've been speaking for like 15 minutes later, there's no formula.
None whatsoever. Our formula might not work for you.
Of course.
So yeah. But in the end, it's really trusting in God.
Yes.
And relying on God. Even in that area of your life. You surrender even that area, your romantic area, and you say, Lord, all in your timing. And Lord, give me guidance to make the right choice. Yes.
Yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for reaching the end of this video.
Yeah.
Like we never know what to speak about in these videos, what to cover. I'm sure we left out a lot of things.
Hence questions.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And see you next time.